Welcome back into the Enrichment Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Tennova Healthcare. We've told you many, many times about Tennova's orthopedic care. Peyton Manning has too in those spots. We've told you about their excellent ER services. So has Mark Martin in their spots. But Tennova is more than all that. They also offer childbirth education programs, health and fitness classes, senior services, support groups, and more. You can learn more about Tennova and all the many ways that they can help you in your time of need with any kind of health issue you might have by visiting Tennova.com. I can't recommend them any more highly than I do each week. I think the world of Tennova for reasons that they took care of me. I suggest that if you have any questions about diagnostic issues or treatment issues, give Tennova a shot. Look at Tennova.com and find out for yourself why I am such a fan. All right. Few quick hitters for you guys in this segment, all job status related. As of today, taking into consideration that he's never won less than 19 games at Tennessee, does Cuonzo Martin deserve another year if you are the AD? As of today, and that can change with SEC tournament performances, winning out, all that stuff. But as of today, does he deserve another year?
No, I don't think he does. I think this year he's had the talent to have a better team, maybe not the talent that I thought he had. And I just said a few seconds ago that Maimon hasn't been quite the player I expected him to be. But no, I do not.
Team, yeah.
I do not think he deserves another year.
Okay. Let's see who wants the next one.
I'm on the bubble on that because right now, doesn't Lunardi still have him in the tournament?
Yeah. We'll discuss Joe Lunardi next.
So if he's in the tournament,
does he deserve? Yeah, but you also got to take into effect what does next year look like.
I agree with Bob. They've underachieved. I don't think anybody's going to argue that they haven't underachieved. But if they make the tournament,
and my assumption is that they won't.
Yes.
Yeah. And if they don't, then I think, as I've said, I wouldn't want to be in Cuonzo's shoes if I don't make the tournament.
I'm going to say yes, with the caveat of kind of like the Mike Munchak with the Tennessee Titans, that you have got to make significant staff changes. And if you don't, then maybe it is time for the head coach to leave. But if you do make staff changes that can help you get some of the guys on that staff that can make better plays, inbound plays, help you make some coaching you're deficient in, then yes.
And he has a real bunker mentality from the outside looking in and from people talking to people inside the program. There's Coach Martin's clique of guys, and then there's everybody else. And I just wonder if that inner circle, sometimes I'm a New England Patriots fan. All these people have left the Patriots, and now everybody's wondering, Bill Belichick is the only guy. Everybody's a yes man around him, just to give you an example. I think there may be a situation like that with Cuonzo Martin. You know, if everybody there is your pal, who's really going to stand up and say this is wrong? Mark, I'll let you dodge this question if you wish.
Well, no, I think as of today, yes. Obviously, if we don't make the tournament, there's an issue. I do also think there's some other things that go into play as far as the money that the university has and things if they can afford to buy out. Just a lot of other aspects to it that I'm sure we'll get to. But as of today, with 6 games left, ESPN having them on the bubble or in, if you win 6 games in a row,
not happening,
in the
but
tournament,
okay.
you could still, as of today, yes.
You're probably going to wind up on the bubble at the end, but I don't think you're getting in. We'll show you why a little later.
This looks like the last 2 years.
I think it looks worse than the last 2 years. His first year, getting that first team, this number 2 seed in the SEC, I think he was a better coach his first year than he's been this year.
But I'm saying it looked the same standpoint as getting into the NCAA tournament. It looks just exactly like the last 2 years, and you do have a much more talented ball team this year.
Bruce Pearl had said in December, I believe to you, that he was considering possibly doing an appeal to the NCAA to see if he could come off his suspension early instead of in August, come off in March. That way he's part of the hiring circle. He told you recently on your show on Sports Talk on 990 from 3 to 7 every day. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
He told you recently, though, what?
That he would prefer to register an appeal after he gets hired because he thinks he would have a stronger case if the university was in his corner to make the appeal to the NCAA.
And see, I just think you're not there yet. I don't think this is the slam dunk that a lot of people do, that he's just going to jump right back in and get an SEC job. I'm not going there yet. I don't think that's the case. We'll see. I may be wrong. Be happy to say I'm wrong, but I don't see that happening. But here's the thing. You're not going to have that. We said a few weeks ago it would be helpful if he goes through the appeal process and either gets a yay or nay, because then all these schools, including Tennessee, could look at it and say, oh, he's cleared. Oh, no, they're worried about him. You don't have that. So let me ask you this. Threw this out in December. Going back to it. Is there any chance that the NCAA thing out there, is there any chance Tennessee decides, you know what, let's hang on to Martin just to avoid the Bruce Pearl issue? Because the Pearl issue is going to be all that anybody's talking about. It's all I hear 24/7, you too. Is there any chance they just dodge it and hold on to Martin because of that?
You would hope not. I mean, you would hope that the overall program and the importance of everything else outweighs that. The decision of, do we have an elite basketball coach here? Do we have somebody that's going to lead us to NCAA tournaments and possibly championships in the SEC? But you would hope it would not be the only or deciding factor in what you do.
Well, wouldn't that be a cop-out?
Yes.
If that's what you did? Goodness.
But haven't school, plenty of schools and plenty of people make cop-outs.
And I think, regardless, he's got his supporters, Coach Pearl does. And so even if he goes to a rival school or another school, after year one, whenever a change is made, they're still going to be calling for him. And I think Dave Hart, being a basketball guy, whenever that time comes, he's going to have confidence in his ability, whoever that might be, to hire a basketball coach that he thinks will be successful here.
Let me ask you this one, because I have a feeling this is where it's going. Is UT's decision to rehire or not rehire Bruce Pearl, and I think they're not going to rehire him. I don't see that happening. But is that decision going to be the new Majors versus Fulmer? We had a split fan base for many a year because of Majors and Fulmer, and you had to pick your sides. Is this the next one? Is this the next big split, or is it going to be that big of a split?
I don't think it'll be that big of a split. I think most fans would be fairly happy. Not all,
yeah,
but most would be fairly happy if Bruce Pearl came back.
I hear a lot of
if
people
not
that
downright
don't,
ecstatic.
yeah.
But yes, there's also a big segment that wouldn't, but I don't think anywhere near a 50-50
Fulmer.
split.
It would be a majority for Bruce Pearl. The thing, I was thinking of this when you were bringing that up. Somebody that should be in the decision-making process or would have input told me there's as much chance of rehiring Bruce Pearl as there was of hiring John Gruden in football.
Pretty slim.
Yes, but to your point,
Worth a phone call. Pretty
yeah,
slim.
yeah. But to your point, I think, and I agree with y'all, the majority would like Bruce Pearl back. I don't see it happening, and I don't see the split of the magnitude of former Majors.
Okay. I'll let you guys close out this segment. Do you think?
No, I don't see it. And look at the way the fans are turning out right now. I mean, they're still there at the games, and I think that's where it may come out to be the final voice, is if there's a lot of empty seats there, and that's because those people are saying we're not coming back unless there's a change or Bruce Pearl's the head coach.
Okay.
Yeah, and ultimately, I think that's what got Dooley fired in the end. I mean, yes, winning and all that other stuff, but when you show up to a stadium that's half full or a quarter full, and the budget's already an issue, that's usually what gets coaches going.
All right. Mark, you'll be back in a couple of segments when we look over some SEC blind resumes. We'll talk about Tennessee's tournament resume. But next, the NCAA is looking at a rule proposal to slow down the up-tempo offenses in football. Should they? Come on back.
Miss an episode of the Enrichment Sports Source? Catch up online at sportsource.tv.